Hey guys, Denzel from Castle Wash. This is going to be a bit of a continuation from the video this morning, so yeah, had a decent half day at work, not much going on during a hurricane. One of the main themes of today, something that stood out to me was people. This goes back to the very first video about knowing your worth and training your customers to change their preferences and tastes so what you offer. That way there's no misunderstandings, or as few as possible. They know what to expect, and then you know how to deliver upon the services and promises that you offer. So with all that being said, let's go back to a topic of my very first video when I talked about cheap people. People who are cheap. There's two kinds of cheap. I think they're both extremely dishonest to themselves and incredibly damaging to the reputation that I put on them. Or I should say that the reputation that they earn for themselves really just turns me off. Don't want to work with them. And to some degree, being my own little business, I have that right and that power to say no thanks. All right, so that being said, again, here we go. Let me tell you about the cheap customer I had that I will never forget, and I will certainly never allow that to happen again. I'm going around my neighborhood giving out business cards, and I'm trying to do $100 driveways. Why $100? Well, I figure that's a damn good price. There's quite a few dirty driveways. If I can get 3 or 4 driveways, you know, I've got a 36-inch surface cleaner, and I can push 10 gallons a minute through it. It's gonna take me 10 minutes to do that driveway with a pre and post treat. No big deal, right? Get a call, so hey, you just left your card with my husband, blah blah blah, we want to do this, and then, you know, she's going on and on and on. Eventually it comes up that, you know, my dad is ex-military, and how convenient, she is part of the VA. And the words out of her mouth were, I've helped your family, hopefully you'll be able to help me in return. And at that moment I was like, what, lady? What? Did you actually just say that? So what? I don't care. So freaking what? So anyway, we're that guy just got a flat tire. Sorry, bro. I'm like, so freaking what? So that made me a little bit mad, because I'm like, we don't owe you anything. All right, my dad actually fought in the war, 26-year military veteran. You are a fat pencil pusher at the VA. Whatever. God, don't get me started on her. Anyway, so we're going on, and eventually she's like, oh, while you're here, I'm not even there yet, but she's like, when you come out, you think you'll be able to wash the front of the house too? And so I asked, and she's like, really, the whole house is dirty? And I'm like, well, what is it? And she's like, well, there's green and this and that. I already knew, because I already saw the house, and that's why I gave them that card, so I could upsell them on the house wash at a slightly lower price once I'm already there. See, it means different things when we say it as pressure washers, but when the customer says it, it means I want something more from you than what you promised for the price. And it was a big house. It's a 2-story house, green all over, but not bad. Again, with my equipment, no freaking problem. I downstreamed going one way, and then I rinsed it going back the other way, and that was the end of it. But I'm jumping ahead. So we're talking, and she asked how much for the whole house. And I was like, that's music to my ears. Even though I'm kind of getting a weird vibe from you about now, That was music to my ears. I was like, well, you know, that's normally about a $400 house wash. It's like a 2,300 square foot house, but it's 2 stories. So it's 2 house washes, right? Size. And I said, I'm like, listen, I know, here's the other thing too. She was going on about how expensive things are nowadays and her husband can't work, yada, 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 yada. And I'm like, well, that's really not my problem. And it's definitely none of my business because I didn't ask. Here's another little golden nugget. If people complain about how much water you used to do a driveway, like, that's a big red flag. She was like, oh, the last guy used so much water, our bill was doubled. And I'm like, first of all, no, it wasn't. Right? Water's, even in my area, it's relatively cheap. And she asked me, like, are you gonna bring your own? And I said, no, ma'am, I need to hook up to your house and I'll use your water. Oh, no, I don't know. Eventually, I just told her off mentally. I was like, if I can't use your water, then it's not gonna happen. Find someone else. Or have a good day. Like, I don't really care. So that was another red flag on top of the VA thing, which is so weird to me. If anyone's had that, if you're watching the video and people have tried to use what they've done for you to try to work you like that, let me know. Drop it in the comments. That'd be great. So I told her what the house wash would have normally cost. And I said, but I'll do it for $200. And she's like, oh, well, that's great. And I'm like, yes. And I said, all right, perfect. I'll get you on the books. I'll be out there in 2 or 3 days. So we got the driveway for $100 and the house wash for $2. That brings you up to $300. I could hear the Bugs Bunny hitting the brakes. She's like, no, no, no. I thought you said $200 for all of it. And I was like, I really don't know if I can make that happen. When did I say that? Like, you just thought that. That's what you want. You just thought that. And a lot of you guys are saying, well, hopefully a lot of people are watching this, but you're like, Denzel, please tell me you didn't do it. Please tell me you didn't take it. Well, I did. I justified it in my mind. I was like, I don't have any jobs lined up. It's gonna be easy. And while it's not making as much profit as I feel I should, I took the damn job. But you know what? It's so funny because I was prepared for her to add on things while I was there. And, oh, can you do this? Oh, can you do this? But the funny thing is, she already got me. And in her mind, getting all that for $200 was the best thing ever for her. And I'll tell you, A, it ain't gonna happen again. And 2, I wasn't even that mad about it. Because if you're the kind of person that is so petty and cost conscious on something like that, I'm like, you don't need to do this. Like, you're giving me all the signals of that you're poor and you need to save your money and your husband, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, don't do it. Don't clean your driveway. Don't wash your house. So let this be a message to you guys. Do not, unless you're broke. If you're broke, go ahead and do it. Swallow your pride and do it. But if you're not broke, don't take on those kind of people. Once is good, because that'll show you, like, damn, I'm never doing that shit again. But yeah, don't keep doing that over and over and over again. Like I said, that's the first and last time it's ever happened to me. And that was a little while ago. I can guarantee you that will never happen to me again. But yeah, it's so funny because my equipment is really good and very professional grade that I was able to do that whole job. I did the driveway and the house wash in 30 minutes, not even joking, and it looks great. It looks absolutely great. I drive by there sometimes, so it looks fantastic. So it all worked out. Thankfully, she didn't like try to not pay me on some nonsense or something like that. Of course, that's all I was thinking during it. I'm like, she's gonna try to get out of paying me for some nonsense, trumped up reason. And she didn't. I knocked on the door when I was done. They had the check ready, in hand, already written out. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah. So that was the end of that. That was a very interesting thing. That was like that's like a movie that threw a plot twist. Like you're expecting, you're like, yeah, it's the boyfriend. The boyfriend's the killer. The boyfriend's the killer. And you're like, oh, you know, they killed themselves. Oh, whoa, didn't expect that. Anyway, just a little short video on the way home. Find good customers for you, take care of them, treat them well, and they will certainly treat you well. Remember, pressure washing is a very, it's not a necessity for the most part. It's a very low, it's not like air conditioning, you know, it's kind of like a luxury service, and people don't necessarily need it as soon as it needs to be done. They'll let it go for years. Again, some people never clean anything. There's some sidewalks in my own neighborhood, I'm just like, that's never been cleaned, and it doesn't matter. Oh, hang on one second. Yep, sorry about that. Anyway, it's time for me to go. Gonna go inside, eat some food. Hope you guys are doing okay, whoever's watching. If you like these videos, I'll keep doing them. Even if you don't, I'll probably keep doing them anyway, because it gives me a good chance to regain a little bit of humility. I've been in customer service a long time, and it's really hard to engage with people when you start seeing that relationship go down that road. It's really hard to not treat everyone like that. Don't do that. Just be kind, be courteous, be professional, and don't let people tell you how to run your business. Don't let people get one over on you. Again, a lot of you guys have heard this all before, but it's true. I'm telling you, it happened to me. I let it happen, and it worked out okay, but it won't always. So just be careful. And yeah, until next time, Denzel from Castle Wash. Peace.